Worst NHL contracts, Brent Seabrook. Brent Seabrook was a key part of the Chicago Blackhawks teams that won 3 Stanley Cups in 5 years. But ever since signing his massive extension, he has been more of a liability for the team. In 2016, Brent Seabrook was re-signed to an 8-year deal worth $6.875 million per season. Since signing this contract, Seabrook has struggled mightily and saw his production fall off a cliff in the 2017-18 season. In the 2019-20 season, Seabrook played in only 32 games while putting up 4 points in those games. This was by far Seabrook's worst season in the NHL, and he is now coming off hip surgery, which could slow him down even more. The worst part about Seabrook's contract isn't actually his cap hit, it's the length of his contract. Seabrook is still under contract for 4 more years with an annual cap hit of $6.875 million per season. If Seabrook is already declining and is coming off major hip surgery, there is no way he is going to be able to play the full duration of this contract. If Seabrook can't play and decides to retire, the Blackhawks will still have him on their cap, which could hinder their ability to re-sign key players. Seabrook is getting paid like a top pair defenseman, but is playing like a bottom pair defenseman. Brent Seabrook is the 14th highest paid defenseman in the NHL and is paid more than defensemen such as Mark Giordano, Ivan Provorov, Alex Pietrangelo, Ryan Ellis, Torrey Krug, and Seth Jones. The Chicago Blackhawks have some serious cap issues. They have $33.38 million tied up on Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Duncan Keith, and Brent Seabrook. It is not wise to have more than $30 million tied up on players over the age of 30 on long-term deals. When the Blackhawks were winning, it was easy to overlook some of the bad signings they made, but now that they aren't winning, the bad signings are the only thing to talk about. This is one of those contracts where I knew the player was getting overpaid, but I never imagined that this contract would turn out as bad as it did. The Brent Seabrook contract is an example of what happens when you overpay a player that has a lot of mileage on his body, and maybe teams should learn from that mistake and not make the same one. On the next Best NHL Contracts, I feature Mark Scheifele.